Unexplainables, back to another unexplainable adventure. And we bring you, me and my sister here, Tarot and Tea, we bring you to the very first episode of the Seance Sisters. I'm so excited for this. This has been a long time coming. This has been in the works for, oh my, what are you showing me? The Book of Seances. Oh, do we actually
I have
get
no idea
from the
what's in it.
spell?
It just got released. It was supposed to not be released until November, and it got
Wow.
here like yesterday.
So we have our very own magic seance book too.
There's
Oh,
a
I'm
guide to divination and
excited.
speaking to spirits. Wonder if it has something we don't know in it.
Maybe. We still have lots of room to learn and grow. But before we delve into that book, we have some friends here with us tonight. Yes, we do. We've got Slim, who was actually here 4 days ago, and he's still waiting. Look. We've also got Rain that's in as well. Fluffy, who's hiding in the closet over that side. He's there somewhere. We've got AD as well. Hello, brother. And Slim, he's back. Well, he, like I said, he's been here for over 4 days.
He needs to go eat and have a shower. He's been here this whole time, standing in the rain and everything.
Right.
God bless him.
Well, welcome everybody. It's so good to see you. Me and Jen are so excited to bring to you for the very first time the Seance Sisters. This is something we have been planning for since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it for such a long time, and what a better time than to bring this to everyone than on Halloween. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes. Well, I tell you, I'm pulling up my gloves. I'm pulling up my gloves because I am ready for this. This is going to be so much fun. So guys, make sure you stick around for this live stream because we have got so many paranormal experiments that we are going to be doing tonight. And right in front of me on this table, I've got an object I have not used in a very long time. A lot of people won't touch this object, but we are us. We are the Seance Sisters, and we like to use the good old Ouija board. So, it's my placemat at the moment.
And we're definitely a no holds barred. We know the superstitions, we know the lores, and we even know the dangers, and we're still willing to try it for the sake of we'll be the guinea pigs so you don't have to.
Hey, Tanya, yes, exactly. And as a general rule, we are both very respectful when it comes to the paranormal, but there may be a few times where I kind of like to push it just a little bit. But this is where I have the protection from my sister here, who protects me very well, especially with the stuff that's going on in my house recently. I freak out. I ring her in tears saying, help, I think I did something wrong.
And I calm her down.
Yeah.
And I tell her, pour yourself a cup of tea and let's build you back up so that they have nothing to feed off of.
Exactly. Because as we all know, spirits, demons, negative energy, all that, I was going to say good stuff, but all that bad stuff feed off of fear. So if there is anybody that's watching that is interested in using any type of communication devices, not just the Ouija board, but anything, even just calling out and not using an object, you're opening yourself to anything to come through. So please make sure you do your research, make sure that you are always very respectful and never, ever show fear. That's the worst thing you can do. And
you're willing to accept what happens with that.
Okay, so I see you having a little gander in that book.
I am. There is so much like literal like cool stuff in it. Like I looked at the table of contents, and part 1 is, what is death? What is divination? What are seances and spiritualism? The other side, what is a spirit? What is a ghost? What are the type of entities? How to perform a seance? Then it goes into like
Ooh.
part 2, which is divided up into some more chapters, and then it talks about what cartomancy is, what automatic writing is, what bibliomancy is, what spirit boards are and how to use them, and then tessography and rhabdomancy and a scientific seance, which was what intrigued me, and more types of casting divination, more types of scrying and divination, and then caring for your tools. So it's pretty
Ooh.
good. I
Yeah.
was kind of shocked. I thought it was going to be just more of like a coffee table piece of just like conversation starting.
Yeah.
Because usually I don't find anything that I truly learn a great deal amount from, so I don't typically buy the like mass published books for that reason, other than like if one has a cute cover, which this one really does have a cute cover. It's
I
got
really like
like
it. It's so
cards.
cool.
It's got like
Yeah.
cards with like, they're just cute. And I was like, this is just gonna look, because I have a whole divination bookshelf. I've got like a fortune teller book, a book on goblins and stuff like that. It's really cute. And I was like, this is gonna go up on my bookshelf. But in the spirit of the Seance sisters, I was like, huh. So I'm thinking that from this book, maybe to save everybody else some money, maybe we'll go over like a chapter per Seance sisters,
Yes.
and then we could kind of like utilize that in, what we're doing for the evening.
Absolutely.
So,
Mm-hmm.
because
Interesting.
many don't know, but my background in paranormal and divination stems back over 20 years. It's actually over 30 years for paranormal. Since I was a young child, I grew up in a very, very haunted house, and I didn't know I was seeing spirits when I was little. I thought that they were just people in my home. I didn't know the difference. And I'm talking young, I'm talking like 4 years old. And my mom later on when I was bigger, had said a story of she had seen this woman with a long ponytail. And I was like, wait a minute, she didn't live in our house? Like, I thought she was a guest, and my mom had
Oh,
mentioned
wow.
that my mom only ever saw her silhouette, but she had said like, yeah, there's this woman that she was talking to my older sisters about it. And I was just matter of fact, I was like the lady with the pink sweater, and I could describe her as to where my mom couldn't. And I was like, yeah, I thought she was like a friend when I was little. I didn't know. I thought that was one of your friends. I didn't know that that was a spirit, or that we didn't know her. Because she would talk to my mom, but I never realized that she wasn't conversing with my mom. Like, she was just talking at her. You're 4 years old, you don't know. And the current home I live in, and many people don't know this story, my aunt died in my house.
Oh,
And my aunt was with me when I had my first daughter. Like, her spirit was there because I saw her. I thought I was, kind of in between worlds. Yeah, I had some drugs when I was giving birth, but that was the first time since she had passed that I had seen her. And my daughter's actually named after her. So I have my daughters stay in the room that she passed away in. She passed of a heart attack suddenly, and my daughters, that's their room. And so I technically live in a house that had somebody pass away in it. And for a little while, I think she was here because I had some really awkward occurrences. I used to have one of those emergency flashlights that have like a radio on it, a dial radio on it and stuff
okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Those big old ones, and never used it for forever. It was just there for emergencies, like if the power went out. And one day it just turned on full blast. Like, it was
Wow.
volume all the way up, and it clicked on, and there was like staticky noise and everything. We all screamed because we're like, what is that? And it was coming from the girls' room. And they were babies, they were young. And I was like, what's going on? And I looked, and it was a flashlight under the bed, and that was the bed my aunt passed away in.
Wow.
So I was like, and I had a problem with lighting prayer candles in that room. The glass would always pop, and things like that. And I was like, well, and I had her ashes in there for a while. I had her cremated remains in there for a little bit, until my mom took them and she placed them in her home. But yeah, I have a little bit of a backstory in my home. Nothing negative. I don't
Wow.
do spirit boxes in my house as to not upset any spirits that may be here. So in my office is where I do all my tarot. and anything else, but I never, like, you'll never even see me film in my home. Like, that's a forbidden zone. That's my privacy and everything. But in my office, which is where you always see me 100% of the time, which is where we're at right now, where we keep our cats and stuff like that, is a completely separate build from the house. And this is where I kind of allow some stuff to happen. I have some limitations because my daughters do come in here and the little one comes in here, but I can get away with a little bit more here. So,
Yes.
and as a tarot reader, I've been reading tarot for over 22 years.
Wow.
And
Okay. Even I didn't know it was that long.
that's that long. And
Wow.
I've been a mortician for going on 9 years. I've been a funeral director and in the funeral industry for going on
Wow.
9 years. So I have surrounded myself with spirits and I have surrounded myself with all this stuff for a long time. So I, like many people, I think you as well, we all learned because we used to watch the shows on TV, right? We saw the new equipment, we saw, and I'm talking old Discovery Channel shows before Ghost Adventures, before um all those. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they would have little exposés of like the Sally House and stuff. Because the first time I heard about the Sally House was on a show called Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, okay.
It was that long
I've seen
ago.
that show too.
And I think I was like, oh, I was young. I was young when that one came out. And I remember them showing it and talking about how she attacked men. And like that one, I think that one really pulled me into the paranormal and the Winchester house. Because that was like when I was little, that was my dream. Paranormal
Right. Yeah.
Paradise. I wanted to see that. I didn't know about too many haunted places. I
Yeah.
knew that the Tower of London was haunted. So
Very.
since I was about 8 years old, because I had a teacher that told me like that was like the creepiest place she'd ever been. So I was like, Tower of London, I gotta go. And other than that, it was like the Winchester Mansion was always on like the Discovery Channel and stuff like that. So I was like, I have to go to that. And I went there for my honeymoon when I got married to my first husband. And yeah, so I've had a lot of fun in the paranormal, not necessarily what anybody would say professionally, because I would never call myself professional in any spiritualism, divination, paranormal. I don't even believe there are professionals. I don't. I think there's people that act in a professional capacity,
Yeah.
but professionals, no, because it's really hard scientifically to prove something in the paranormal. And when you start bringing in titles like professional, you're denoting like something that is regulated.
Right.
And you
Absolutely.
really can't regulate this stuff all that well. And what describes professional is you are compensated for your work. Not very many of us are. So I don't call myself a professional. I will forever be an amateur or novice. And I always want to learn so I can share with other people. You'll hear me be very verbose and I will talk about stuff and it's never to show off. It's more or less to be like, did guess what I found out? That type of energy. So don't confuse it.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
I
Yeah, see, for me, I usually just say like I'm an enthusiast, or
Yep,
if that's
always.
the right word to say. Yeah. So I'm not a ghost hunter or a ghost investigator or a professional. No, I'm an enthusiast. It intrigues me what's out there, and I find it scarily fun to try and find out what's out there as well. So just
Everybody
before
does.
we get started, very quickly on kind of like how I got into it. So a lot of people watching this will know the story of Tom. Um, this is Tom, but we'll go more into the story about Tom a little bit later and in future episodes as well. But for me, the reason I kind of went from really scared of the paranormal to I need to figure this out is when I was around 6 or 7 years old, I always kind of thought I could see and hear things. I'm still trying to remember as an adult now what happened when I was younger, because the more I try and figure it out and try and remember scenarios and situations, it's starting to click like, that wasn't normal. But when I was around 6 or 7 years old, we was having reconstruction done on the house. Of course, that's where it all kind of, for a lot of people, happens. So yeah, as soon as we started knocking down walls and building stuff, it just, the atmosphere had changed, and not really in a good way. So my mum started doing a little bit of digging, and we found out, and again, I'll go into like a more detailed version of this if anyone wants to hear it on a later date, but we found out that our house was built on like an old convent land. Oh, I like that. So the road is called Convent Road. So back in like the 1700s, early 1800s, there was a big nunnery, a big convent, but it wasn't particularly a good one. As some stories go, the ladies, the young girls that would get taken to the convent, they sometimes weren't good people. They could be convicts or down and outs and homeless and stuff like that. And half of them, not half of them, but a lot of them would either be or become pregnant. Now, when those babies were born, as horrible as it is to say, those babies were taken away, and young children, if women came in with children, and they were led down to the bottom end of where my garden is. Now, down in that bottom end of the garden, and I know this because my dad started digging one day. Again, if someone wants the full story, I will tell you. Yeah, my dad started digging
Such a
one
cool
day,
story, you guys.
and there was steps, stone steps going down. We found out that under our ground, our garden, is a dungeon, and the nuns, the evil nuns, would take the babies and the children down into the dungeon and kill them. So when all this construction started going on, my mum, not necessarily me, but my mum was seeing children. Like, she was being poked in the side when she slept, and she would see this one,
Doesn't she
like,
still hear them?
2 by 2 children being led by nuns out into the back garden.
Doesn't she still hear them? Doesn't she still hear like the giggles or something?
She does still hear giggles, but the main thing now is she sees these swirly things around the ceiling, and that's when she gets that the sleep paralysis.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that
and stuff. And it's only happened twice, but when I was about 13, 14, there was knocks on the front door. See, my mum's best friend at the time was a white witch. So my mum had phoned her. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and she was like, I see something out through the keyhole. And Sam, her name is, the white witch, she was like, do not open the door. Whatever you do, whenever you hear knocks at the door, never ever open the door, especially if you can't see anything. Well, my mum explained, just like your little thing you held up just then, your typical oval bubble on the bottom, deep black eyes, apart from one who had red eyes, and their teeth were long and sharp. And she said there was one at the front door, one behind it at the end of the pathway, and 2 to the left, 2 to the right. They were evil, and they only showed up when the tree was chopped down in our front garden. But my mom's friend Sam was freaking out, like, do not let them in, they're evil, do not let them in. Like, but yes, so that's when all that was kind of going on, I was like, I'm either going to be petrified for the rest of my life, or I need to figure out what this is and kind of get on that level where I'm okay with you being around, just leave me alone, like, don't talk to me, don't touch me. So that kind of brings me to where I am today, as well as the story of this dude. But
he's been around on her channel a bit.
Tom's been around since the beginning. It was kind of Tom that kind of pushed me to start the channel, the little bugger. It's grumpy old man. See, a lot of people think Tom's evil, but I just feel from having him for nearly 3 years now, I feel like he's like a grumpy old man. You know, like when you just got that one granddad, that's the grumpy one. And it doesn't matter how good you are as a child.
He's
Like,
just never impressed.
Exactly.
No, Tom's energy always strikes me as a trickster, but that kind of borderline, that went too far, that was mean trickster.
Yeah.
The ones that are like, but I was being funny. Like,
Yeah.
I think he has a relationship of care with you, but he's still that, like you said, grumpy old man of like, I'll show you,
Yeah, he almost, not all the time, but sometimes, when you walk into a room and someone has literally just been shouting as loud as they can, like anger. Sometimes when I'm around him, I get that feeling.
Yeah.
Like someone's literally been yelling and just has had a really bad day. That's what I get from him.
Yeah, that's what he strikes me as, is just that heavy energy of like abrasive. He's got an abrasive personality.
Right.
But he also and I'm not going to say that he can't be mean, because we've all seen him be mean. But I think he's limited a little bit more now than he was a lot more free about it before. And he's a little more limited. I think he's also like, I think PLE puts him in check a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two men. So I think he kind of
I
puts
think
him
that's probably why he's been quiet a little bit, is because there's another male authoritative person, like whereas before Tom was with me and Sammy, like two women, that was it. And he was new. And it was almost like Tom was trying to be like, look, this is my house, girls, like you're my property type thing. And again, right at the beginning, we didn't know what we was doing. I made an Ouija board and put mine and Sammy's name on it. Who does that apart from Shani? Like, we didn't have a clue. We didn't understand the paranormal. We did laugh a lot, but it was more nerves and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I laugh
again,
there.
I still don't know if it was Tom that scratched Sammy or whether it was something else. I don't know. If it was Tom, I mean, even like considering how deep those scratches were, if it was him, I don't believe he would have done it as in like a demonic, horrible. I think it was more of a warning, like, girls, this is what I can do. If you're going to mess around with that stuff and not protect yourself, do you know what else can happen? That's what I kind of feel.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
And
great.
everybody knows Miss Tarot is a very wide collector of crystals and gems and other metaphysical earth-based items. And a lot of people forget about one type of mineral, crystal, whatever, it's in the same compository. They always want to go for things like black tourmaline, which is a great one. It's one that I use a lot, but I use it more for anxiety. And stones of that nature. They forget there's one called jet, and that's where we get the phrase jet black from, because it is pressed carbon based. And so therefore it's not really a crystal, but it can be shiny. They can tumble it and make it really pretty, and fluff has a huge piece. And jet is supposed to be what helps you with the paranormal specifically.
Right. Okay.
It's supposed to keep negative entities at bay. So anytime you are, in a cemetery, and Fluff knows I carry jet with me all the time. I also carry like amethyst, and I leave little bits of amethyst sometimes at the gate of cemeteries as a peace offering. Or I go to the keeper of the cemetery, which, if you're not familiar, based off of the lore, the keeper of the cemetery is the first person buried there. And you can go deeper into it, where they say it's the first woman buried there, because supposedly cemeteries are based in feminine energy, because it's creation and end of creation.
Ooh.
So that's why most women will thrive energy in cemeteries, and some won't, and men are more prone to being attacked in cemeteries. And
Okay.
energy drained in cemeteries. But that's not exclusive. I just say it's more prone. I always cover the back of my neck. So when I do graveside burials or anything like that, I do wear a scarf around my neck. And that keeps where they believe the entrance of the soul comes from. And that's also where you're most vulnerable to attacks and possessions and things of that nature if
Hmm.
you follow into that. So I tend to wear my oils for empowerment, and I cover my neck, and I always have my jet with me and a couple other crystals too. But look into jet if you're worried about spiritual attacks. And I always tell people, if you're so worried about being attacked and you live in that fear concept of you have to tell a spirit what to do, don't attach to me, don't, truth be told, a spirit, we don't know enough about them to know whether or not they'll listen to you. Okay. A lot of people say those things. And
Hmm.
and it is, in my opinion, and a few others as well, that if we demand them to do something or to not do something, it will cause irritation and aggravation of the spirit. So yeah, tiger's eye is a good one. However, I'm a Capricorn, and because it's a conflicting planetary to mine, it can also tiger's eye can actually give me anxiety. It's been known to, because I have a lot, and if I have it too close to my bed, it's hard for me to sleep.
Wow.
We tested it where I told my roommate, I was like, only place it, under my pillow or something when I don't know about it. And the nights that she did it were nights where I couldn't sleep. So we tested to see if it was just like a mind mess. And no, if I have too much tiger's eye near me, I can't sleep. And I researched on that, and it's because the, garnering planets where it gets its energy from, um, conflict with my alignments. So that's why.
Wow. Okay.
Say metaphysical property, but if you want to do a deep dive, because some people will say, well, amethyst doesn't calm me. Amethyst actually lets me remember my dreams better. It promotes lucid dreaming. Well, that is something else that amethyst does, and some people can't have it near their bed. So I always tell people to pay attention to, if you're going to get into the metaphysics of something, deep dive and research it completely, because what works for one. Oh, that was a dog. I was like, that sounded real creepy. Sounded like a growl or something.
Yeah.
But it was a dog barking. I was like, what? And is my cat throwing up? Somebody's speaking of possession, right? But just kind of do a deep dive. If you're going to believe in a little bit, if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound.
Right.
So if you're going to believe a little bit, better believe all the way. So and also the things that, yeah, we remember is that all these things are filled with intent. If you have intent and you hold, like I have a really expensive mala, which is those necklaces you see that are with the circular beads, and they have a big guru bead at the end. Those are called
Yeah.
mala. And the practice behind a mala is it's based in East Indian culture and energy, but anybody can have them. Buddhists use forms of malas and things like that. It's kind of like a rosary. And what they do is you meditate with each bead, and you fill it with an intent for it to heal of you. And those necklaces are meant to break. They're supposed to break. And when they break, that means you've learned the lesson. It's absorbed the negativity or whatever you've placed into it, and it's gotten rid of it, and you're free from it. And you can restring them and continue the process. So most people wrap them on their wrists. I wear mine around my neck because I always like to keep it near my heart chakra.
Yeah.
And I love looking into all aspects
Thank you for
of,
you.
oh, look at him. And I love, he's over there throwing money down again.
For the first
He
seances.
was the $50 make it holler the other night. Like, making it rain over here. Me and Lynn were just like, fine. We just threw 20s down, but oh, here comes Fluffy. But really look into every component, research it more. I'm no authority in any of it, but I do try to figure out the whys and how it works and why it works for me or why it doesn't work for me, and pass that information onward, because you can always help somebody.
Right.
So that's how all this stuff rotates and how we thrive in it is by sharing the experience, by testing something, and seeing if we can further the field or further our knowledge. And that's where we come in. We're always like, we call each other like all the time. And I'm like, okay, so here's my theory on this. You like hear me out. And then she'll hear me and I'll be like, all right, where am I messing up? Like, what else can we add to this? How can we make this more impactful? And she'll throw some stuff in and we'll try it. And sometimes we get really good communications, and sometimes we're like, okay, that borderline to dangerous, I wasn't comfortable, things like that. So the behind the scenes of the channels and the paranormal stuff is quite even possibly more interesting than the stuff that gets put out there, because the test phase of stuff um is us sitting there with no cameras on sometimes and just being like, okay, can I do this? Is this filmable? And what am I doing? Because like we don't want to put out bad information or something that would be dangerous. So we test it or see if we even want to test it. Some stuff we come up with, we're like, I don't even want to do it, or the energy doesn't feel right.
Right.
So we've come up with some stuff where I'm like, that didn't feel right. And so we just didn't bother with it. But that's what all this stuff is all about, is kind of trial and error. And
Absolutely.
unfortunately, the errors can be pretty bad if you don't think things through. Use a little common sense.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Well said. So, having said that, also, guys, if there is anybody that wants to know more about our pasts and like a little bit of a deeper delve into our what's the word experiences. So for me, for instance, the convent and the dungeon and everything, and with Jen and her previous experiences when she was younger, then let us know at the end of this live. Let us know in the comments, and yeah, just let us know, and we'll individually do our own videos and post them for you. So this is what the Seance Sisters is all about.
And there's no, contrary to what some may say, there's no stupid questions. There's stuff that maybe you haven't learned. And if we don't know it, we'll find somebody who does.
Exactly.
Or we'll look it up, or we'll just, we'll all figure it out together, because that's what YouTube's supposed to be for, is fellowship and knowledge and sharing things that you wouldn't normally have,
Exactly.
having access to. So.
And also, if there is anybody watching, now I do have many ideas of my own, but if there is anybody watching that loves to watch all the challenges and the different seances and the games that you can play, but are a little bit too afraid to do it yourselves, then again, make sure that you leave us a comment with the different games and challenges that you have heard of that you would like to see me and Jen do.
And if we're, not too afraid, we're not afraid. It's just, we'll see if it borderlines with our alignment of what we're okay with. Because it's not always fear, it's building a good rapport with spirits too, because when people demand of spirits, they don't always want to talk. I've noticed that. Have you noticed that?
I have. Yeah.
Where people will say even demeaning things or derogatory things, and you need to speak, you need to show yourself, you need, and these spirits, I can just imagine they're standing in a corner going, I need a what? You're gonna sit there with your little blinky thing and make me do stuff.
Absolutely.
But talk to them as you, and treat them as you would if they were still in their, human form, in their flesh suit. And if we think that some of those things probably don't line up with that, maybe we can do a modified version of it.
Absolutely.
Or sometimes maybe we'll be like, we can add to that, So it all depends. And neither one of us is afraid of a cemetery.
No.
I'm not afraid of a dead body.
I hope not.
No, not at all.
Good job.
And very much true. And as much as I am intimidated by the dark, I don't think I fear it as much as I fear what may be there.
Right.
I'm one of those. A lot of people don't, oh, she must be fearless. No, you turn off lights and put me in a dark corner somewhere, and I'm going to sit there with a little intimidation. Depends on where I'm at. Did you guys see that video of me at the Cosmopolitan? That was real. I was like bouncing around in front of that mirror because I could not hold still. And there was no clickbait. I made Fluff get up at like 5 a.m. and said, we're out of here. I'm tired of hearing these spirits walk around the bed. And you just feel you are not a dead body, you're a fleshy. You've cut all that pretty pink in your skin. But yeah, it was creepy. The Cosmopolitan in Old Town San Diego is very creepy. It has an energy. As soon as you walk in, it has an energy. And the way it's set up is not your traditional hotel. It looks like you're staying at a restaurant. It's just, I have to film the whole thing. Fluff is dying to go back because he fell in love with the energy. And if you tell him that's haunted, he's like, where? And he's running. And as to where I'm like, it's haunted? What kind of haunted?
Right.
But yeah, I that was real. I can get afraid. It does happen. So I just know when I'm afraid, that's not an energy I want there. So I'll remove myself. Kind of like what anybody would do, right?
Absolutely.
And when you get afraid, you're like, we'll stay there, we'll get through it, but we're like, I'm gone.
Right.
Time's up.
I get louder when I get afraid, and I tend to cuss a little bit as well. I mean, in like off camera, I'm a Londoner. So yeah, almost every other word is a cuss word. But when it comes to work or making videos, I really don't want to be using that language. So if anyone does hear me slip up, it's because I'm genuinely afraid, like in that moment.
And I've seen her in person be afraid when we were doing investigations. It was like, and she's seen me jump. Remember when
Right.
we were on the Ouija board and we had the ghost tube going, and it was like coinciding with what was going on the Ouija board, and I was like, whoa, like, you hush up over there. Someone tell that spirit to calm down.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. And that, well, what took place there was interesting enough, then you
Exactly.
have a Ouija board going full speed, and then you got Ghost Tube over there chatting away, and we're like, all
Yeah,
right. And then the next day I woke up with the virus.
explain that. Exactly. I cannot wait to get that video out. But the reason why it's taking me time at the moment is because I'm trying my hardest to find the story that we was told. And if I can find that story and show it on the video, then what happens with the Ouija board and the Estes and everything else we did would make perfect sense. That there would be, oh, it's your TV. Why did I think that was behind me? Your TV flipped.
Your TV.
For some reason, I thought we was in the same room. But yeah.
The jellyfish, that one always gets me. I'm always like, what is that?
But yeah, if I could, this is why it's really, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find the story, but I'm really trying.
It was a small town, and the owner of the Airbnb did say that they really tried to keep it hush of what actually happened, but he lives next door. So he knew like what had really happened. And yeah, that hearing that story was pretty, I mean, it's not unheard of, but it was like, what? And we'd asked him, had anybody stayed there and had any experiences or left? And he said, yeah, people would pack up and leave in the middle of the night. And I was like, all right. And there's Peely and Shani and Nubs and me and Fluff and my oldest daughters and everything. And we're all sprawled about in this place was huge.
Beautiful.
And it was beautiful. And there was no televisions in it. We loved it. There was no televisions there. So there was nothing to really interfere. If you heard sounds, it was genuinely the house or the people in it or the energy in it. So it was cool. Like, I liked it. I'd go back to that one.
Yeah, definitely. I would
the library
and just at that B&B for sure.
It smelled like a library. And that grand room that Nubs slept in with the fireplace, I was
Yeah.
like, Nubs, you're brave sleeping here.
Right, because that's where we did the seance as well, was when Nobs was sleeping.
Then he went to in there afterwards.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, maybe she'll have if it's a ghost, maybe it'll be a girl and she'll have a number.
Oh, Fluff still has the address.
Ooh, that would probably be helpful.
Yes, I think it would, because I'm literally just typing in North Carolina, South Carolina, like Carolina, just because I couldn't remember, because we'd moved a couple of times at that family reunion.
South Carolina, I believe.
Right.
That Airbnb was in South, because we went from like where the first Airbnb, and then we bounced around to go to be in other places. And yeah, we just wanted to experience some really cool Carolina stuff. So
yeah. Oh,
their
definitely.
homes were. It was so great. But so
yes.
the reason we do seances is for what? To speak to the dead, right? Because we somehow think the dead know, and I'm pretty sure they do, know infinite knowledge or have infinite ability, since they're basically free from this weighted blanket we wear on top of our bones, you know? So in this book, it says, what is this is a question we carry around with us every single day. As we are aware of our own mortality, death influences the choices we make, whether we are actively thinking about it or not. As human beings, we automatically do what we can to hold off death as long as possible. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
And we seek out food, water, and shelter as a result. We live together in communities and protect one another. And sometimes we even inflict death on others in hopes that we can avoid our own. To be dead means that we are not alive, and staying alive is our most basic instinct. The irony is that when these survival needs are met, we are freed up to ponder death. Secure in our safety, we begin to focus our attention on understanding why death happens and where we go when it does. Death gets the full biological and spiritual examination within this book.
Ooh.
I like it.
I like it.
And that is definitely true. Either the pursuit to avoid death or the pursuit to have death does consume a lot of our life. And I always say when we make choices, it's for two reasons, out of fear or out of love. So yeah, it's we really do consider our mortality in pretty much everything, whether it's the duration of our life, that's the consideration, or how we're going to pass is the consideration, and more so, what happens after. Because as far as I know, not too many people have survived death to tell the tale.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's what kind of birthed us, was gaining knowledge, appreciation, and of course, understanding about what happens after we aren't here. Can we still talk to those people? And can those people still talk to us? And yeah, we've gotten some evidence in past videos. We believe Shani's grandfather comes regardless of location, and is there, and and makes himself known through spirit box often. Sometimes spirit boxes sound like they're working, and maybe they're just jumbled words, and sometimes spirit boxes are undeniable in their answers. Fluff had that experience at the Cosmopolitan Hotel, where you couldn't have gotten a clearer yes out of that spirit box if you tried. And Shani has tipping tables. That
I've always wanted to try this. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know if it's a real thing or not.
I've tried it now. Fluff was there. We and the ghosty girls went to a hotel, and they were dealing with a psychologist and a person who was a spiritualist, and they were doing a version of like trying to associate like bed knobs and broomsticks. You familiar with the movie where they make the shoes dance, and using that mind control in order to move objects, which is kind of the premise of what table tipping is rooted in. And he had us all place our hand on the table, and of course he was like, I'm gonna say it, he moved the damn table. All right, he did. But he also made us like focus on passing energy, which you can feel. When everybody holds hands, you can feel energy transfer and move. And undeniably you can feel that. But it's a lot more difficult to make energy physically move an item. And he tried promoting that with like a straw, and then a small rock, and then a soda can and things like that. So have I seen table tipping occur? Yes. Do I believe that it is possible? I can't say that it isn't, but I can't say that I've ever seen it where I couldn't debunk it. So I think it's a play on your mind, but at the same time, anything's possible. I've seen some people do light as a feather, stiff as a board. And
I used to do that at break time at school. Yeah, me and 5 other friends thought we were witches. True story.
many people do. But you know what? I've seen people do the whole initial lift where the person feels heavy, they circulate energy, and then they're able to lift sporadically, far, far higher than they did before. I've seen that occur. And the basis in that is also the mind play of, your mind um releases ideology that weight is a confinement of the mind, and so you're able to lift more. But also, I do believe that there is a metaphysical property to it because energy transfers. So perhaps we are releasing energy and weight and able to lift higher. Can a person levitate on their own? There has been documentation that it has occurred. So it's all possible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, I mean, that's even bold of me to say that I would think that somebody could just spontaneously do it out of nowhere. We know that we only use a very small portion of our brain, and our brain has so much electronic components to it and energetic components to it that, and when we watched the movie Carrie, remember, she moved stuff with her mind. And so if we were to use the full context of our mind space and our the brain activity, people believe that we could actually literally, control things and make them move and that telekinesis is possible, and mind reading is possible. That's why people will do that exercise where they're like stare into each other's eyes and read what the other person is thinking, and they'll do things like pick a color, and the other person has to say what color they think the carrier is thinking. And there's been some pretty good um knowledge in people guessing the right color. Now you could say it's because maybe you had a sensation or you had an idea or whatever, but they say just the first color that pops into your head, and they would match up. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see how all that plays into it. And I used to just right off the bat, right out the gate, I'd be like, it's BS, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I used to be like that because everything I did was so analytical because I was in school just too much. And then one day I saw some stuff, like as we all do, that you could not explain. So, like I said, if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. And if you're gonna give an ounce to one, you got to give it to the rest. And if you're gonna believe in one thing, you got to believe in the possibility of other things too. It would just be reasonable to do so. And when you become reasonable in spiritualism, paranormal, any of this, you actually open your mind to more possibilities and you want to learn more. So I enjoy doing that.
Absolutely. There you go. Okay, well, I think table tipping, well, when we actually finally get back to in the
We're
same
gonna try
area, that would be a very interesting one for us to do.
kinds of divination stuff in here that I want to try that I haven't tried. So I think like, well, your book should be on its way soon because I of course ordered you a copy too because birthday. So
Birthday's coming soon. It's like a
very soon.
a
So
week, week and a
we have our residential Scorpio over there.
half. Witchy Scorpio.
But yeah, there's like so many ways to test, spiritual contact. And we're learning more and more ways all the time. So I like books like this that can kind of, you may have tried most of them, but maybe you didn't try at least one of them. So I'm glad I bought it.
Yeah, I'm interested and excited to actually have a little read of that book and
Well,
see.
in that way, when we're
Yeah.
reading from it and actually using it as a topic, you'll be able to read along. But it's by Claire Goodchild. If anybody else wants to purchase it, it's on Amazon. It was a recent release. They just released this book. And I know how much I paid for it? No, because I pre-ordered it like 2 months ago. So I don't remember. Like Amazon just goes, oh, swipe her card.
Yeah.
And they send me stuff.
Don't worry about the price, just swipe.
And so that's what happened. And then this book came in the mail. And I was like, woo, because I wasn't anticipating it. It said like November 4th or something is when it was supposed to come in. And I was like, yes, it's here. So if anybody else wants to pick it up, we might have some times where we invite somebody up to talk about their paranormal experience or
Yeah.
contact experience, or maybe try something with us. We're gonna run with this and see what happens. But obviously the first stage of all of this is the initial death. And now that we all know what death is, what happens after death? Do we move onward? Are we reincarnated? Does our energy lock? What kind of energies lock?
Mhm.
What happens?
Exactly.
And
And
the better.
some people are left earthbound because of unfinished business. That's a whole separate thing as well.
I think one night we'll talk about like levels of unfinished business.
Yes, definitely. Definitely interested in that for sure. So, okay. Would
So
you
we've been on about an hour, so now it's some seance time.
exactly? So I was gonna say, so would you like to choose something from the book, or is people interested in seeing if Tom's okay? And what's he feeling? I've kind of dragged him to Cyprus and back to England and now America. Well, how's
So
everybody?
did you know that the act of using dowsing rods is called
I
rhabdomancy?
I have my dowsing rods right here as well.
So rhabdomancy, which is in the book, that is the formal title of using dowsing rods. That's that topic. And it is called rhabdomancy. That is not so. I knew that there was a formal way of, like a formal title to it, but I couldn't remember it, and you don't hear about it much. And that's one thing I love that we'll be able to do is really do that deep dive and learn, like even ourselves. But yeah, so we have you guys, why don't we put it into the chat? Like, what type of contact item would you like us to use? We have obviously tarot, obviously we have spirit boards, dowsing rods, spirit boxes, or combinations of
And I
these
have the
things.
Ouija board here too.
Mhm. So if there's something somebody would like us to use, we're going to try to see what Tom's been up to and how he's feeling. And now that the veil is getting pretty thin, thanks to good old Samhain,
Yeah.
let's see what Tom has to say. So if in the chat somebody will just say what type of method or tools they would like us to use, we could probably get that put together and get that going. Anybody? Don't all rush.
I'm going to put him here. I'm going to try and set the other camera up so depending on what we use, we'll be able to see. We also have the equipment, guys, for the Estes method as well. We have everything. Put the K2 with Tom. Yeah, Tom is lighting up.
And also with the Seance Sisters, if you make any type of spiritual contact device, if you're beta testing an app, if you're making your own lighting, sound detection based system. Let us know. Maybe we'll, give you a huge shout out, get that out there for you. I know that there's a lot of people that make their own forms of spirit boxes and things like that. And we'd be more than happy to talk about those, maybe bring you up and have you show them and how yours is different from the stuff people buy regularly. Just, mass market or whatever, and get you promoted a little bit. And
Absolutely.
we're always good for sponsors too. So if you want us to showcase you and use it,
Yeah,
we've got an address you can send things to.
absolutely.
A voice recorder. Okay.
I don't have a voice recorder. Well, I do, but it's somewhere.
I use my phone as a voice recorder sometimes.
Oh, of course you can do that. Okay, so we've got one here. We've got Tom and dowsing rods.
Okay, that might be a good one because it's very simple, and it's something that people can buy and utilize fairly easy. Look at her being all multi-camera. I need to start doing that with my tarot readings. I really do.
Yeah.
But I'm so lazy sometimes.
So oh goodness, Tom, I'm sorry. I think that was the K2.
Tom's all over himself.
I'm just gonna make this big screen for 2 seconds just so I can see what's going on. Okay, so just make sure you can all see that. There's the K2. It's kind of the camera on obviously the laptop isn't too great, but as long as you guys can kind of see this, well, I'll be holding it here, but seeing what's the best way. Okay, so I can do it like this. Okay, that's cool. Oops, just hitting everything. Okay, there we go.
You like a table just for this stuff,
right?
Yeah.
I need to find my other little stand so I can have my old phone on it and point it down. That's somewhere, but this will do for now. Okay, well, let's do this. So I'm gonna put us back on the solo screen so we can see the dowsing rods. When I do this, I don't think I'm going to be able to see the chat. Oh no, I will be. So if anyone has any questions, go for gold, and we will. Oh, where's them 3 dots? There it is. Okay.
Here we go.
Hello. Oh my gosh, my makeup looked well scary then. Ooh.
It looks fabulous. I've got my work makeup on. Mine is some like gray lipstick.
No, that's good. Okay. Does Tarot and T have the rods? Oh, yes. Do you have rods with you, near you?
Don't have rods with me, but Fluff does. So I have to like borrow his, and he's not home. He took off.
he's just left you. He's gone.
The men have left the women to their own vices tonight. But you know what? Next, I'm gonna go ahead and gather up all of my divination stuff, and we'll be able to do like a dueling of things on the next show. So we're definitely we're gonna pick a better this one was just an opener. Next time we'll have like a full topic.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we've got some candles. I've got red candles, and I've got the white as well. You know, got a mixture of the both. Gonna put that one there. Don't want to start burning stuff. K2, Tom, all the way over here. Do you want me to bring him forward, guys? Oh God, there we are. This is as forward as Tom's gonna go for now until we get.
Not a very forward man.
Right. Okay. So let's point these forward. Okay, so before we get started, hello, welcome to any energies that are here with us tonight. We are looking to ask some questions and hopefully get some answers back from you. In particular, we are looking to speak with the spirit of Tom, the soul that has taken over this beautiful clown doll over here, the soul that has been with me for almost 3 years now. But before we do that, we would like to use the form of dowsing rods to communicate with Tom tonight. Tom, you have used these before, and I know how well you can use these dowsing rods as well. But Tom, before we get started, for everybody that's watching tonight, with the dowsing rods and with your energy, can you show us your yes answer, please? Can you show us your yes answer, please? Push the rods either crossed or open for a yes. So Tom's yes answer is going to be crossed. Thank you, Tom. Can you straighten the rods for me? Tom loves using these rods, by the way. Guys, if you see my hand shaking, it's because I've had a lot of coffee today. I'm going to try my hardest to not shake. And Tom, just to confirm what your no answer is, can you show us with the rods what it would look like if you're to answer no? Okay. I tell you, I haven't used
master at
such a long time as well. Thank you, Tom. Oh, you're going to keep going, of course. Okay, so Tom has this thing as well where usually it's both rods, but one of them will hit me in the shoulder. That he always does it. He can't just stop a little way. He has to hit me with rods, don't you, Tom? You can answer if you like. You like to hit me in the yeah, there we go. He's very powerful. They're crossed. Thank you, Tom. Straighten the rods, please. Now, Tom, is it okay that that we ask you some questions tonight? Yes. Thank you, Tom. Tom, also, I want to apologize that I haven't spoken to you for a while, but I hope you know that I do care for you and I do love you a lot. You do know that, right? Yeah. Thanks, Tom. You know, it would have worried me if it had gone the other way. What are you doing with that one, Tom?
He's getting fresh.
Right. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. So if there is anyone that's in the chat, if you know Tom or you don't know Tom, please feel free to answer questions.
Everyone say hello to Tom.
Yes. Everybody say hi to Tom. Oh, Tom, they're all saying hello in the chat. Tom, can you see everybody saying hello to you? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Wonderful.
That is wonderful. Tom, how are you feeling today? Are you happy? Yes, that's good.
Did you miss talking with Shani, Tom?
Oh, please take your time, Tom.
Don't rush.
Did you miss speaking with me? Yes, I've missed you too. I really have.
Do you like living in America now? Oh, look at that one didn't take any time.
No, but the question about me, Tom, took a while.
Right. I don't know. See, that's his old man personality shining through.
Yes.
Yes, it is. See? Oh, Grumpy, I'm going to have to buy you a drink, Tom. Are you a Scotch man, Tom?
Ooh,
yes, he's my boy. We can enjoy a nice, lovely double malt together.
Oh, he's saying yes. That's one thing I didn't know about Tom.
He likes a good drink.
Good.
Maybe that's what's the matter with him. He hasn't had any alcohol in a while.
Yes. Are you dying for a drink, Tom? Wow. Okay. Yes.
Do you like tobacco as well?
I thought so.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't a very big yes, Tom.
Are you a pipe tobacco?
Oh, okay.
Yes,
there's your big yes.
Talk if you don't know.
Oh my god.
He's whacking you. You hush now.
I tell you. See, this is the thing with Tom. Like, honestly, he's not a bad soul. You're not, are you, Tom? Yes. What do you mean, yes? Are you a bad soul?
He can be.
Honest. Okay. So you're kind.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a good soul, but you can be grumpy. Is that right? Yes. You're not evil, are you?
No. We
No.
didn't think so.
No. There we go. But me and Sammy at one point, do you remember when we thought you was evil? Yes.
And you went with it, didn't you? You just went along with it, didn't you?
Wow, that was a big yes. Yes. Round my throat. Thanks, Tom. Did you think it was funny when me and Sammy was freaking out in the beginning? Yeah. Wow, that was a big one.
Slapped each other.
I'm trying to keep my hand still. Hold on. Okay.
Tom, do you like Mr. Past Life Explorer? You do. That's good. That was my main worry, is if he enjoyed his company. Because little do people know, Past Life Explorer is actually a grumpy old man.
You said yes. No, Past Life Explorer has a kind heart, doesn't he, Tom?
Yes.
Yes, of course he does. Oh, okay, there's a question. Tom, somebody would like to know how old you are. Is it okay if we tell everybody your age? Yes. Okay. Now, Tom, we're going to go with the age that you departed here, okay? Not the combined age that you're still around, okay? Yes. Okay. So, let's think. Are you in your 30s? No. Oh, I need to replace myself. No. Are you in your 40s? No. Are you in your 50s? Are you older than 50? Keep pushing on. I've got them slanted. I can feel the pressure on the ends of the rods, but with my cat hands, I've got them slanted, so it was hard for him to push. Okay, so you're older than 50. Are you straighten the rods, please, Tom? That's it. Thank you. Are you in your 60s? Oh, I've got hair up my nose, Tom. You're in your 60s. Okay, thank you. So, are you 61? No. Are you 62? No. 63? 64? I think we're getting close. 65? I felt the push, guys. It's such a surreal feeling. It's like he's pushing the tip of the dowsing rods, like giving it a little push. So you're 65, Tom. 65. Tom, I don't even know when your birthday is. Is it in December? Well, that was a guess. December just came to my head. Is it early December? Yes. Okay, we're going to guess. We're going to guess. We might as well, because Tom, we need to know when your birthday is so we can celebrate it. Do you like celebrating your birthday? No, you're just like my dad. You are. The K2's going off as well.
Tom's British. Tom's a Brit.
Yes, he said yes. I said, you're just like my dad. He said yes. Are you the Grinch, Tom? Guys, seriously, this is what we told you about Tom. He's a kind-hearted person, but he's just a grumpy dad. Am I right, Tom?
Miss Lunar Witch says 13, as in December 13th.
Oh, that's a good number. Is your birthday December 13th? Stop. Stop. Did anyone hear that?
I did.
That was the kitchen cupboards.
Oh my.
That was Tom. Was that you? Yes.
Tom, are you being a hijink again?
Like our old house. Yes.
Now, Tom, you can play a little bit, but don't get too crazy, okay? Promise me?
Yes. Okay, none of the doors, like I've turned the kitchen light off, but that was the sound of someone just letting go of the door, like in the kitchen.
Pretty loud too.
That was pretty loud. That made me jump. Tom, was that just your way of proving that it's you and not somebody else? Yes. And just to confirm, when me and Sammy was living together and all the kitchen cupboards opened, was that you?
No.
Now that was the confusion. Do you remember me saying? I was like, it must have been Tom, but the violence of it, like, no, see, he's saying no, it wasn't him. The violence with everything flying out the cupboards and smashing. Sorry, I've got hair up my nose. Like, that just doesn't seem like something Tom would do, you know? So I'm guessing he's just letting me know that, yes, it is me by moving a cupboard, because that's something that happened in the past. Am I right? Yes, look, straight away. Thank you, Tom.
Tom, do you like the smell of fresh brewed coffee?
Yes.
Because that's something I'm getting, is that he's loving that you're brewing coffee now.
Oh, wow.
He can smell it. Mm-hmm.
That's a strong one.
So would you like Shani to pour you a cuppa every so often? Maybe a small one?
You're gonna chop my neck, Tom.
He misses his good alcohol, and he misses a good cup of coffee.
Okay. Well, it's not very often that we have alcohol in here, but we do have those little bottles that came through from Amora, which I think one of those was whiskey.
Yeah,
would you like me to grab you one? Do
They're
you mind which flavor it is? You do mind? Okay. Well, I tell you what, I'll put a couple on the table, Tom, and then you can point the dowsing rod at which one you would like to drink. Would you like to do that? Okay. Let's do it, Tom. Let's do it. The box is just here, guys. So we will grab that. Keep an eye on the K2 meter as well. I've got my leg stuck. That's good. I didn't expect to do this today. Tom, what are you doing to me? Up and down, up and down. Yeah, let me know if that K2 goes off. Okay. Here we are, Tom. We've got a few in here. I'm not sure which one's a whiskey, Tom, but there is a few different types. Okay. I think that one is. Oh, whiskey. That one's not. Okay. I'm not sure about the other two, but one definitely is.
I know the Jameson is.
Yeah, the green bottle. Mm-hmm. That's this one.
Good old Irish whiskey, I believe.
And then, so Tom, we've got Jameson's there. Then we've got some Grants. This is Scotch whiskey.
Oh, he might like that one.
Yeah,
Scotch.
Oh, this is. I don't actually know what that one is. It doesn't say. But there's one of these, Tom.
Is that the glass bottle one?
Oh, and that's red wine. I don't think you want that. Yes.
That one I thought was interesting.
This is an interesting. Oh, Tom, they're all from Denmark as well. So let's spread these out. So we'll put one here, one in the middle, and then one there. So I'm going to use one dowsing rod, Tom, okay? Just to make it a little bit easier. And you can point it at whichever one you want. This one's a bit questionable. I don't think that's whiskey, but these two are. Okay, so I'm going to sit back. I'm going to point that in the middle. So Tom, it's entirely up to you. Which one would you like me to open for you? Look how slow. It's like he's gone to every single one. Really slow.
He's
like a little look.
Yeah.
That's the questionable. I don't know if that's whiskey, Tom. Is that your choice? I'll give it another 5 seconds just in case you're deciding. Remember to point at the one that you'd like to drink. Okay. See, he's like me. He's like, I know I like whiskey, which is in the 2 bottles, but this one I've never heard of. So, okay, there we go. So Tom has chosen this one. Let's just double check. So Tom, you'd like the white liquid, like the questionable drink. Yes. Okay. Here we go. I'll save the whiskeys for you though, Tom. Don't worry. I'll make sure that oh wait, Tom. Tom, because I love you loads. Can I please have a sip? I have a thing about opening bottles and having to take a sip. Can I have a sip? Oh, I love you, Tom. I'm like really intrigued. I dropped that on the floor. I want to know what it is. Wow. It smells like glue. Wow. It's whiskey, Tom. It's whiskey.
He knew what he was doing.
Right? It's like
yeah, it's drink when I see one.
It's got that burn taste to it. Wow. Did you know that was whiskey, Tom? Yes. Okay. Okay. He's just laughing at me on the other side right now. Wow.
He's trying to earn his cup of coffee in the morning. We're gonna have to get him a little, like a little shot glass so he can have his cup in the morning.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if I've missed any questions or anything.
Perhaps. Let's see.
Oh, wow, Tom. Yeah, you can finish that. That's burning my throat. That's why I don't drink whiskey. Oh, Tom, are you having a drink? Have you tried it? Yes. Do you like it? Is it questionable? Yes, because that wasn't quite a no. It was like a
It hits the spot, but we're not sure which spot it hits.
Yes.
Yeah. I know Tom's like,
that's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. Tom, I really appreciate you being with me all these years, even though I was kind of scared of you at first. Yes. Do you know and understand that I have a good heart? Yes. And even though sometimes I can take the mickey and think that I'm funny, I obviously only do things in jest. And I'm grateful to have you in my life. Do you know that? Yes. I have a burning question, Tom, actually. This is actually something I haven't asked you. Now, obviously, I've briefly told the story of how Tom come into my life. He was in the drawer of a vanity table that I randomly purchased. And Tom, I just wanted to know, and I kind of feel like I know the answer, but was it you, Tom, that made me buy that vanity table? Yes. So you could come home to me. Yes, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Okay. I wish I could like ask why, like I just.
On the next, maybe we'll have to do like a tarot reading And we'll upload that separately of why he came to you.
That's a very good idea. Tom, would you be interested in doing something like that? Yes, that was a strong one.
We'll do it with the Kipper cards, where they're more like Oracle Tarot hybrids, so they have more of a storyline to them. Well, maybe we'll use a couple cards.
Well, he's agreeing, yes.
Yeah.
Tom, have you used cards before? Have you communicated through cards before? No. I know he definitely has for me. That's interesting. Tom, am I like the first person that you have lived with that has tried communicating with the other side? Yes. Oh.
I'm so attached to you.
Is that why you chose me? Yes. Okay, that's interesting. Considering I was very new to this. Did you choose me for a reason? Oh my God, there is so many questions. Was one of the reasons because me and Sammy wasn't communicating in the right way? Yes. So you partially chose us to protect us, is that right? To stop us from making stupid decisions? Wow, another thing that I knew, or I thought I knew. Yeah. I feel like you are like a grandfather figure to me, but like a close friend at the same time. Is that feeling I have right? Yes. Oh, that one hit my hand. Tom, you're freaking awesome. Do you know that? Well, that was quick. We love you, Tom. Does anybody have any questions? Is there anything anyone wants to know about Tom? Tom, are you still okay to answer these questions? Yeah.
Did you have a wife?
Oh, good question. Yeah, Tom, did you have a wife? A mistress?
Ooh, Tom. Okay. You shy to tell us, Tom?
So you had like a girlfriend, right? Yes, that was a lot stronger than mistress, but I think he's being funny with the mistress word. So you didn't have a wife? No. You had a girlfriend? That was really big. Thanks, Tom. Was she
miss her?
Sorry?
Does he miss her? Oh, maybe that's why he's so grumpy.
Is Jen right? Is that why you're grumpy? Because you miss her? Oh.
Does Shani remind you of her? Oh. Well, there you go. I think we're getting closer to your answers without even trying.
Do I remind you of her by my personality? Yes. Do I look like her? Oh, only one went to the side. So is that sort of?
Yes and no.
Does she have blonde hair? Yes. Does she have blue eyes? Yes. Okay. So we have similarities. Yes. Oh, Tom, I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, I've got chills and my heart is breaking right now. Again, one went to the side.
Oh, we're learning about Tom in one evening.
I know. This is crazy. This is crazy. I love you, Tom. He's like, yes, I know. Of course.
I love you too, darling. That's why I'm here.
That's why I chose you. Because you're a fool. Yes. Oh, he said no to a fool. I was only kidding. I'm not I know I'm not a fool. I'm just joking, Tom. Yes, he knows I'm joking. This is crazy. You know, I only get really strong stuff with the dowsing rods really when I'm with Tom. Wow.
God.
Do you have something to say, Tom? Yes. Okay, I was wondering why that was going crazy then. Okay, so do you have a message? Oh, okay. Tom, are you reading the chat right now?
I think it is.
Okay, Tom, is the question that you, because he was going crazy then with that. He's like, ask me another question. Tom, did you have any kids? Did you have children? Yes, there you go. He was like getting really impatient, guys. So he wanted to, he's reading the chat. This is crazy. So you had children. Are they still alive? No. Oh, I keep hitting your doll, Tom. I'm sorry. No. How many children did you have? Did you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Tom.
Tom was a busy man.
Busy man. 6. There you go. So that's it. Straighten out the rods. So just to confirm, you had 6 children.
Oh, he was a busy man.
He is a busy man. He has 5 children. Okay, Tom, use your energy. Did you have 5? Yes. Okay. So was there 6 children born and 1 passed away? Yes. Okay, so that's where the 5-6 confusion was coming from. Tom, I'm so sorry. Yes. Is this another similarity that you see from my family that brought you to me? Yes. Okay. Not me, guys, but another family member is the exact same numbers. Did you know that, Tom? Yes. Okay. Wow. Whew. Okay. Oh, okay. Good question. Tom, am I a part of your past life? Is my soul from your past life? Yes. Right, anybody ask PLE how many times I talk about this. Now, I've got full body chills because I didn't think it would involve Tom, but I've always had the feeling that this isn't my first life. What was that behind me? Guys, did anyone see anything here? Just now. Just now. There were like a white light slowly go by. If anyone wants to rewind that and just quickly have a look. Tom, was that you? Yes, that was a big yes. Okay, I always knew I had a past life.
Were you trying to hug Shani?
Yes. I have literally got full body chills. Tom, I love you so much. I'm so happy that you came into my life. Yes. I know I was very scared and I just obviously didn't understand. And it's taken me until now really to understand our relationship. Yes, that was a big yes.
Do you know Shani's grandfather?
My great-grandfather? Yes.
Were you friends with him? Okay. Are you sent to watch over Shani?
No.
That's a no. Do you feel that you're responsible to watch over her?
No. Well, it's like a no, a non-answer.
Maybe I wasn't like specific enough, or I didn't ask it right. That can happen too. Did her grandfather ask you to watch her or be with her? Did her great grandfather ask you to? Okay.
Wow.
It'd be so interesting to look into your great grandfather's, friendships or anything like that and see if something would have come of it.
Yeah. So your real name is Tom, or is your name Tom?
No.
Is that a name that I've just randomly given you? Yes.
Would you like to tell us your name?
Yes, he can.
Okay.
If we use the Ouija board, would you tell us? No. Is it dangerous? Yes. Do you not like the Ouija board? Now, guys, if this was me moving the dowsing rods this whole time, I'd be pushing this to yes to use the Ouija board, because you know what I'm like. So the fact that this is literally like, no, please don't use it, that's something I wouldn't ever say. Yes, see, Tom knows. Okay, how would you? What about the writing thing you do?
Me?
Yeah. If Jen got a piece of paper and she opened her mind to you, Tom, would you tell her through writing so she could write it? I mean, I'm probably not making any sense, am I?
Will you let me be able to write your name? Will you pair your energy with mine so I can write your name? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I think he was kind of thinking about it then.
He was trying to figure out how to do it.
It is, Tom. It's okay.
Okay, Tom. So I have a pen and I have a bit of paper.
Do you want me to put you up on screen, or should we leave it with Tom?
We'll leave it with Tom. That way I can concentrate on him.
Okay.
And what you do, Tom, is you give me pictures, give me letters in my mind, or just control my hand. And you let me know when you're ready and you let me know when you're done. You start the writing and you stop it.
So everyone that's in the chat as well, if you can all concentrate, close your eyes, and help Tom tell Jenny his real name.
Okay. So I've got this.
Okay. 2 seconds. Oh, wow. Okay.
You'll have to forgive me. It's my stationery from work.
Oh,
but
back to front. Sam? No.
It's from, I think it's from this way, but I don't know what this is, or if this is, or if any of these, have anything to do with it.
So, right, guys, write in the chat what you see. Name some names, whatever's coming to your mind. Type them into the chat now. And then I will use the dowsing rods again with to ask our Tom. Tom, I'm probably going to keep calling you Tom. And the question to Jan, no, Pielli's actually asleep in the bedroom. He's not in here. Jan is seeing something move around the floor. Okay, so
I'm just chewing a cookie.
that's okay. I see this either a H or it could be an I.
Could be an Ian.
Ian.
Hans.
Hans.
HAN. This could be an N or an Hars or Hans. Or
okay, so yeah, we've got a Hans or a Sam. Okay. That's very interesting. Okay, let's go with that first of all then. Fluffy's thinking more of Sam. That's what kind of come to mind straight away. Okay, Tom, is your name Sam? Well, that was blooming easy, wasn't it? Went to yes. So your name's not Ian?
Maybe that's why he was so mean to Sammy.
Yes.
Could be.
Okay.
Well, let's former Tom, now Sam.
Yeah. Would you like me to call you Sam? Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Just
remember
the dog.
Omar found out his bird was actually a boy?
Yes, I remember that.
He found out it was a girl, right?
No, he thought it was a girl, and it turned out to be a boy.
Bird clickbaited him. I think Sam clickbaited him, and he was frustrated about it for the longest time.
Yes, because we just didn't ever think of trying to ask him if that's what his name was. Oh my goodness, Sam, it's going to take a long time to get used to this. So, Sam, I need to ask a couple of questions now. Was there, in mine and Sammy's old apartment, was there a negative energy that was there? Yes. Yes. Well, oh, sorry, I keep hitting your doll. I do apologize. Was that negative energy called Tom? Yes. Sam, have you been frustrated at me and Sammy because we got your name wrong and was calling you by the negative energy? Who is Tom? Yes. Wow, it's been 3 years. Sam, I am so sorry. Do you forgive me? Yes. Just a shani mistake. I'm sorry.
It happens, Tom.
Yeah.
Sam.
So I know it's going to be hard. Sam, will you get angry if I slip up sometimes? No. Is it funny to you now? Yes, but it did once make you angry because of the negative spirit being called Tom. Yes.
What his name was.
I can just imagine Sam being, my name is Sam. It's not Tom.
That's where you get that yelling energy from that he always had. He's like, Shani, my name is Sam. Sam.
Yeah, exactly. So Sam has literally been here to protect me. And we obviously got the name Tom, who was a negative spirit, and we just assumed that it was Tom the doll. Yes.
We learn something new we learn new things every day.
Absolutely. Everyone's saying nice to meet you, Sam. Yes. Sam, are you happy now we all know your real name? Yes. That's good.
Watch things completely change around him.
Right. So once again, because I'm going to have to do some research, Sam, in when you was here physically in your body and stuff, did you know my great grandfather? Yes. Okay. Because my great grandfather, he died very young, didn't he? Yes. My nan was 2 years old when he passed away. So I've obviously never met him. But where are you going with that pointer?
He's looking for Past Life Explorer.
He's in the bedroom. Okay, yeah, he's pointing over to the door. That's where the bed. That's crazy. Okay, is there any more questions? Samuel Thomas. Hey, you're chopping my neck off, Sam. Is your name Samuel Thomas? No.
I don't think he likes the name Thomas or Tom in any form.
Is she right? Yes. Okay. I promise I will try my hardest not to call you Tom anymore, okay? Your name is Sam. Thank you so much for letting us know. That was really quick and easy. Wow. Like, that was quick. Everyone's saying nice to meet you, Sam. Look at Sam's lovely face. I know. I mean, the clown doll kind of freaked my whole family out, and they kind of threw him at me when, like, before I even knew that he existed. They were like, yes, he was in the drawer, take him. Like, not having it in my mum's house. But wow, do you remember that sound? Yeah, it was my brother. My youngest brother was like, take him, just threw him at me. Oh my gosh. Wow, Sam, thank you so much. Do you have anything else you would like to say? Of course, it's been a while, hasn't it, Sam? No, sorry, Sam. Hi. I didn't get that. Do you have a message for me? No. Do you have a message for Jenny, who's up on the screen there? Hey. Yes. Okay. And do you have any messages for anybody in the chat? No. Okay, Jen, sorry about this. He has a message for you. So just okay. I mean, that was just a random question. I don't even know why I asked that. Okay.
Is it that I'm going to be rich and famous? It's going to just fly backwards.
Yeah.
Well,
well, Jen, this is something you can either do now or we can do privately, because I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. Okay. We can do that. I think you said do it privately. You kind of cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I don't know what he would have to say. I mean, I know we're very close, but there's a lot I don't know about you. And wow. Yeah, that's kind of threw me off guard. That just kind of popped into my head. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll do that. Sam, we'll speak to Jen a little bit later, okay?
He's like, stop calling me Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Luna. So we have a friend in the chat that called Charmaine. On the screen, Sam, you can see her name says Luna Witch Show. Do you have a message for her? No, that's a good thing. What about Fluffy, our friend Fluffy? Well, that was a rather big one.
I'm not dying, am I?
No. Is she a fool, Sam?
Am I being
so there was a yes for Fluffy as well. So we'll do that. Not right now. Is that okay, Sam?
Sam wants to get chatty.
Sam does want to get chatty. Sam has some messages. Yes.
Sam has turned into Miss Cleo on us.
Are they good messages, Sam? Yes. Okay, so we can all stop worrying. I'm worrying and none of the messages are for me. Yes, stop worrying. That was a hard one. Wow, I felt that. I felt my hand go. Okay. Does anybody in the chat have any more questions for Tom? Because I feel like we've used a lot of his energy, bless him.
Exhausting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And he gets when he's exhausted.
Oh, right. So if anyone has any last questions for Sam, yes, he's willing to answer them. He just said yes. Or are you saying yes, someone has a question, but they haven't wrote it in the chat yet? Yes. Okay, so anyone in the chat who has a question? Because Sam knows you have a question. So Charmaine says, does he know my mother? Do you know Charmaine's mother? Do you know of her?
Like so, a yes and no.
Charmaine, would you like to type her name? Maybe that's what he's confused with. If that's okay. Or a nickname. Look at these rods going. It's like he's trying to have a look around. Okay, Sam, Charmaine's mum is, I've got to read, I haven't got my glasses on, guys. I'm so sorry. Is it Shannon? Sharon.
Sharon, yeah.
Sharon. So Charmaine's mum's called Sharon. Do you know her? There we go. Yes. Wow. Yes. Again. Yes. Okay, Charmaine, are you asking questions over there that we're not hearing? He's literally yesing lots and lots.
Maybe
Sam.
Out, and he's reading that from her.
Right. There we go. Sam, are you a protector on the other side? Yes. Wow, that was a big one. So am I right in saying when people pass and they're sad or confused, do you help them relax and come to terms? Yes. Wow. Have you done that with Sharon? Did you help her come to terms with her next journey? Yes. Sam, did you help Sharon find peace? Did you see that flash? Yes. Sam, we are very, very grateful, and I know Charmaine would be as well, to hear that you have helped her mother cross over and find love and peace on the other side. Thank you, Sam. Yes, I am tearing up right now. Wow, did you see the K2 flash? Wow. Okay, Charmaine, if you would like a private StreamYard at any point, please just let us know. Me and Jen can do that, or if you want either one of us, it's entirely up to you. Let us know, and we will bring Sam along too. And if you have any questions whatsoever, we will help you with that. Sam, is that okay? Yes. There you go. Oh my goodness. Jan says, okay, so this is a question for Sam. Sam, am I and Jenny sisters in a past life? Am I reading this right? Yes. Was me and Jenny sisters in a past life? Holy cow. Is that why we've had such a strong pull to be together in this life? Yes. Guys, seriously, like, if you just knew how random, like, before we really knew each other, like knew each other, we just knew we had to be in each other's lives. And it like, for meeting someone so soon, when it was like, how that K2 is flashing, like, in my head I was always saying, why do I have this such a strong pull towards this one person when I never used to really get along with females, but it was a completely different like thing when it came to Jen. It was like, I knew that we had to be in each other's lives for some reason or another. And let's ask Sam again, is it because me and Jen have been real blood sisters in a past life? Yes, there you go. It's right there. Wow, we are learning so much today.
British in a past life.
What?
Remember that time we had the talk?
Yes, he said yes.
Remember that time when we had the talk that when I went to the museum and saw the big piece from the Titanic, and I said, I swear to God, I drowned on that ship or something, because I've always had such a huge pull to it.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
That ship, I guarantee it.
Yeah. So Jenny was on the Titanic. Yes. Do we both have multiple past lives? Yeah, I had that feeling as well. I need to know this question, Sam, because you are very, very clever. I know I always joke about being a princess, and yes, okay, let me finish. Did I once live in a castle? I get this dream, like, and I literally come to tears every time I go near a castle. I did live in a castle. I blooming knew it. Was I a princess? Okay, right. I know I don't. I knew that as well. Okay, was I like a scullery maid? Yes, I totally knew that. Well, not like a scullery maid. I was like, I feel like I was like a servant, but a young child. But I was a friend to royalty. So I was like a playmate for the young kids. Is that right? Am I correct? I bloody knew it. And I always joke about it all the time. I mean, I always say, I'm a princess, I'm a princess. But I've told PLE this as well. I had the feeling that I was on the poorer side, because I felt like Cinderella, like dirty skin, like ashes and stuff. But I felt like I was kind of looked after, but I was a play friend for the young children, the royals. Yes. Yeah, there we go. You just agreed. Yeah, I knew it. I have dreams and everything.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yep. It explains why I wear bloody gloves on my hands when I go into dirty places. It's because I'm used to it. Yes, there we are. Wow. I knew that. Okay, Jan has another question. Her question is, I have to put it up a little bit because I can't see. One more question, please, Sam. Are the girls your daughters?
Oh,
Good
wow.
question. Okay, Sam, this one's for you. So our friend Jan has asked, one of the candle things has just blown out. Hold on, Sam. I'm going to try and lift this. So there's 3 wicks inside. I don't know if you can see it with this on. Oh, no, you can't. But there's 3 wicks inside and only 2 are lit. One's just gone out. I don't know if you can see it like that a little bit more. You really can't.
You can see it. You can see that there's only 2.
Okay. First off, Sam, did you just blow that out? Yes. Are you getting tired? Yes. Was that your way of telling us it's time to end this soon? Yes. Okay, Tom, we will. Is it okay if we ask Jan's question? Just a couple more questions. Yes, thank you. Sam, I'm sorry. Sam, forgive me. Do you forgive me? Yes, I think he's used to it. Okay, Sam, in one of our past lives, mine and Jen's, was we your daughters? Oh, I'm cutting my neck off.
I think one of us was, maybe.
Yes, one.
Okay.
Jenny? It was you! Wow. Was I your daughter?
By the one that died?
No.
Because remember he had the 5, 6, and then was I the one that passed? Oh.
Yes. So I wasn't one of his daughters, just purely reminded him of his girlfriend, because she wasn't your wife, was she? No. But Jenny was the baby that passed away.
Oh.
Was her name Jenny? Jennifer? No to Jenny, yes to Jennifer. Obviously, we all know that's the same name.
Well,
but back in the day, they would use the full name. Oh my gosh. Sam, did you bring me and Jenny together? Did you help to bring me and Jenny together?
Of course.
Wow. Okay. Wow. K2 is flashing over there. Have I missed any questions? My eyes are watering. Like, this is unbelievable. I did not expect this tonight. Hi, Dustin. Welcome. Okay, I think that's about it. Sam, thank you so much for communicating with us. Again, I am so sorry it has taken so long. Yes. But I obviously didn't take the time to fully get to know you and your soul, and I apologize for that. I hope you forgive me. Yes. But I've always said, like, my parents have always tried to tell me to get rid of him because he's a creepy vessel. But I always knew that I had this strange attachment to Sam. And so many people have wanted him. They've wanted to, put him with their collection. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, I've thought about it, but yes, he knows everything. But that was before I really, understood who he was as a soul. But yeah, like I say, always had a connection with him, and I always knew there was something deeper than what I kind of knew at the time. Yes. So Sam, thank you, and I'm glad we finally sat down and figured out your real name. Yes, I bet you're glad too. Yes. Are you enjoying that whiskey? Yes. I'll leave it open for you, Sam. I didn't quite like it. No? It's not your favorite? Yeah, no, it burnt my throat too. Yes, it burns his throat. He said, yeah, it burns. Okay, Sam, thank you so much. And thank you for talking to my friends in the chat as well. And Sam, at some stage in the near future, is it okay that we sit down with our friend Charmaine and get some messages through from her mother Sharon? Yes. Thank you, Sam, because we know that that's going to mean so much to our sister Charmaine. Yes. I'm going to cry. Yes, thank you, Sam. That's it. You just confirm it to everybody out there. Yes. Okay, thank you, Sam. I'm going to let you rest now, okay? Yes. Okay, we love you. Yes, he knows. He knows that. Thank you, Sam. Okay. I'm just going to just move him away from this area for now, just so he can there's some like funky noises coming from the kitchen. It's probably Sam, just like a final
himself some coffee.
That, do you know what, and I know the Keurig does it, but it usually only makes the noise when you first press the button to turn it on. It does that noise. Well, it's just done it, but it's been switched on all day. So maybe it's kind of like don't forget my coffee.
Yeah, maybe he's like, make sure it's set for the morning.
Right.
Late morning. I think Sam likes to sleep.
He's just like his mum. Right, I'm gonna put Sam back. Just ow, my kneecap. Right, there he is. I'll put him over there. Okay, wow. Let's just put that one down. Okay.
Well, that was a lot.
That was a lot indeed. I mean, look, I don't know what to say right now.
That's a lot of carry over to next time for sure.
Absolutely. So I think it was a very good thing to start this season off with Tom. He kind of was a big deal like in the beginning for me, and clearly I got a lot wrong,
which we can do in when we investigate or try things out. I told Fluff one time I got messages completely wrong from spirits that we had contacted at the Gila jail. I thought they were meaning one thing, and then I thought about it later, several months later, and I was like, you know what? This makes a little bit more sense than what I initially thought. And yeah, it actually came into fruition. So sometimes we can think we got something all together, and then a year, if not, longer or even shorter, we go back and review it and we're like, wait a minute, that I think it meant this. So yeah, even though you through years thinking he was the T word, he was in.
Yeah, absolutely. And so much has kind of happened tonight that I didn't expect to happen. Now, like we said, I knew we had a tight bond. A lot of people don't actually know how tight our friendship is. Because that's our thing. Everyone knows that we're good friends and stuff, but it's for us to know how deep our friendship goes.
Not everything goes on the internet.
Exactly that. But many a times I have said to PLE, look, I feel this very tight bond with Jen. I don't understand why. This was mainly, I mean, I still kind of say it now, but mainly right at the beginning, especially when I was still in Cyprus. So for those that are a bit foggy about that, briefly, I was in Cyprus, I was stuck, I was very new to getting to know everybody, but I was in a very, very tight spot. And within weeks of knowing this girl, we already had formed some bond, and she was just like, I'm helping you. And I would say to PLE, why is she helping me? Why does she feel the need to help me, someone that she barely knows? Like, who does that? Like, very grateful, but who does that? And it was because of this crazy bond. It was like, I've known you my whole life, but I haven't known you for merely weeks. It was crazy, and I could never wrap my head around why this friendship was happening, and happening so quickly. Like, I love everything we have within our relationship, and tonight we find out that we were sisters in a past life.
We're
I'm
surprised.
really about to cry. Like, I knew there was something. And just for years, before I ever even knew any of you guys, anybody here, I knew I had a sister, and I knew that I had a very tight bond. Like, we were inseparable in life. I've known this since I was about 6, 7 years old. I don't have sisters in this life, like blood sisters. I have 4 brothers. Okay, 4 brothers. But I knew there was something else to it. I've always felt like I've had many a past lives, but one in particular, I knew that there was a sister, there was a tight bond, and I wanted to figure it out. And tonight we did. I honestly, it baffles me. There's gonna be people sat there going, oh yeah, you two have a good friendship, so now you're past life sisters. I would never have put this together. I knew we had a bond, but it's not something like, yes, let's be past life sisters. No.
It wouldn't have changed anything that we have now.
If it
So
had gone to no and was like, no, you girls have never known each other before, then okay, fair enough. Because do you know what? At the end of the day, we have each other right now, and that means more than anything. But
it just makes a little sense over how, okay, here's the thing. I've called her. I've called this one. Yeah, I've called this one. And I've been like, sis, I have to tell you this story. And I've explained something to her, and I was like, and guess what I did? And she's like, oh my God, it's so funny you're telling me that because I did the same thing.
mm-hmm.
And like, really? Because it would be something where I felt like stupid or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I totally did this. And she's like, I've done that. I actually just did that. And I was
Yeah.
like, our para games video, the last one we did, I was like, I called her and I was like, oh my God, and you can see my freaking arm in the thing because I had to record my computer screen playing the video so I could upload it because it was a big old debacle of how to upload this thing, and YouTube wasn't taking it on any of my devices. So I was like, I got an idea. And I did that and it worked, but you see like my hand reach and hit like the space bar or something. I don't remember what I did, but I was like, oh, great. So there's my arm. And she's like, I've had that happen in a video. And
It was
I was
the
like,
same video, and the thing is that we were both uploading the same night, like doing that whole recording the laptop, because our camcorders, our night vision camcorders weren't doing it. Was all the same night, guys. It's all the same night.
and
And the whole hand in front of the thing accident, exactly the same.
we got stuck in the mud, right? We were driving out to the houses and it had just rained like a lot, like 2 days worth of rain. And so all the roads, the back roads were wet, and with 2 feet of mud, we get stuck. Luckily, Fluff knows how to drive in the snow, so he was able to get us out. But we go through the car wash at like midnight because I was like, there's no way you're bringing that back home like that. And and then a grasshopper lands on my windshield right where the wipers are, and I'm like, oh my God. And it was big, it was like this big, it was like 3 inches, and I'm filming it, and then Fluff turns on the windshield wipers, and I'm like, you're an asshole, because I was sitting there going, now what are we gonna do? And you just see and I send the video to Shani. It's midnight, it's after midnight, so it's like 3 a.m. for her. And I'm like, oh, she'll see it in the morning. She sees it right then, and then she's busting up because she has a video with a grasshopper landing on her and PLE's car. And guess what?
Nubs was in the car when that happened. So yours was more recent when that happened. Ours was about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but it's the same thing. PLE put on the window wipers, and I was like, how could you? Like, grasshopper murderer. Like, and we both had the same reaction. We should both put their videos up onto Twitter, so everyone can see.
I was busting up when she's like, and did you know that Chris did the same bloody thing? And I was like, these freaking men. And then I went to bed that night, and I was like, what are the odds that we would have that experience the same?
Exactly the same.
And we've gotten like sick at the same time before. And granted, she lives on the other side of the country from me, and we've had similar incidents. And obviously there are times when we get grumpy at our men, and I call her and I'm like, you'll never believe what I did today, and I feel really bad. And she's like, oh my gosh, guess what I've done?
Right.
And how so it's always an adventure when we speak to each other, because number one, I can relate to her, she relates to me, and we center each other. So after, our men will literally be like, you need to call your sister
now.
Your sister needs sister time. And we'll sit there, and it'll be 2 hours gone past, and we're laughing, and then we're rejuvenated, and everything's fine. Well, for 2 weeks prior, we're like sitting there, don't talk to me, anybody, you know.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Now, Adam says twins, and I was going to say this before we started talking about the grasshopper, and maybe this is something we should ask Sam the next time we speak to him, because of the similarities. Like, it's almost like the pool is more than just sisters. Maybe we were twins, purely for the fact of the way we feel at the same time, sickness at the same time, the crazy little things like the grasshopper and stuff like that happening, the filming going wrong and doing the same things to be able to get it's look, who sits there and goes, oh, do you know what, I'll just record the laptop so I can. Other people have been like, throw that away, I'll go and film it again. But we both were like, no, this is what we're going to do.
We will just be like, I will MacGyver some stuff real quick. Give me duct tape and brick. We're making this work. And yeah. And because I told Fluff, I was like, why are you messing with this video file? It's not going to work. We're not going to upload it in time. Give me the laptop and give me a phone. And I just filmed it. And he was like, I wish I had thought of that. And then I was all embarrassed. I had to explain what had happened, because I was like, yes, you guys are going to see my arm. Yes, you're going to tell that it's filmed off of a screen. But I had to get the video up because I'm diehard. Like, you ain't going to knock me out of a competition very easily. And then so I call up Shani, and I was like, this freaking video was a freaking nightmare just to make the thing. It wasn't so much even filming it, like doing the challenge. That wasn't the big deal. It was getting to the challenge, and then the challenge like being uploaded. Yeah. Those were the bloody hell. But yeah, and she starts like gasping, going, oh my God, are you serious? And I was like, you can see it in my video. You just see this arm reach across. And she's like, do you know what happened to me? And I was like, no. And she's like, and it's basically the same story.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Like, before tonight, a lot of me was like, wow, what a mad coincidence. But I'm seriously thinking, or well, we kind of know there's more to it now. You know, oh my God. Okay, so everyone is literally seeing in the moment me realizing reincarnation and shit for the first time, like past lives. I've always, been intrigued by it, but I've never delved into it. And as much as I wanted to be one of those people, really at the back of my head, I was like, no, I'll just pretend and believe that I've got a past life because it's so cool. But I just never thought I would be one of those people. But I can honestly and truly say what we've just found out, all of us tonight, there's no denying. There isn't. How do you explain that?
You don't.
Like, guys, go back, watch this again, watch my hands, watch every single little movement. This is crazy.
What a great opening for the season.
Right, episode 1, we are coming to you with a bang, let me tell you. Wow, what a night.
Pretty good, because right here we have what are seances and spiritualism. So what is a seance? And it goes into who the Fox sisters are. And if you're not familiar with who the Fox sisters are, they were the original sisters who used to do live seances. So it gives you the history of them. I wonder if we were related to them.
Maybe. Oh, there is so many questions that need to be asked.
So we'll get towards the next one, and then we'll do yet another seance.
Yet another. And do you know the best thing as well is that we have literally just found out that Sam, not Tom, is actually a spiritual guide on the other side. He actually takes and looks after those people that I guess have had a sudden death or a very emotional passing and don't quite understand what's going on or what they need to do now. Like, they don't understand that they should go towards the light and pass over. And Sam is a spiritual guide, I guess, not just for me, but for those that have recently passed. So, I mean, I did not expect that. So, not just yet, because obviously me and Jen need to sit down and talk a little bit, because this has become a lot more serious. Not serious, but it's just become a bit more than what it was supposed to be. So I mean, if anyone is interested in time, because I have a lot of reading to do and I need to know a lot more now. I mean, I was just here for the giggles. I wasn't. I was taking it seriously. But if in time anyone is interested in private, again, like, I don't really know the right words, but
with Sam,
yes, you know, then
our mascot now.
I know, right? He is our little mascot. I mean, I only really thought of introducing him for a couple of times because he's kind of been ignored for about 2.5 years. But I always knew Sam was here for a reason. So yeah, if anyone is interested in having their own, you know, private sessions with us and Sam, then that's something we will look into for sure. I mean, Charmaine, he obviously has something that he wants to talk to you about, so we will get on to doing that when we, you know, we can find a time, because our sister here, you know, all being promoted and everything in her new job, is a very busy lady. So talk to Jen first, and you all know I don't work, so I'm just here all the time.
That can be chaotic, but there is some like consistent days that I have off, so we'll just schedule it around that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's definitely something I'd be interested in, if everybody else is, to have some private sessions with Sam, because he's clearly here in our lives for a reason, and I believe one reason is to help us figure out who we were and what we mean to each other now. And I feel like he's also here to help us pass on messages.
Very true.
Yeah, very, very true. So this goes for anybody. You know, if even if no one has, even if there's nobody that wants to speak to anyone on the other side, if you want to find out if you have a past life yourself, if you're intrigued in that type of thing, I'm pretty sure Sam's going to be able to tell us. I mean, he literally, I didn't even expect it, but he's literally just told me that me and Jen were blood sisters. It would be interesting to find out if we were twins.
It would be
Very interesting, just because of circumstances that happen now. That would, wow. We'll be back, Sam. Wow.
There's a little t-shirt with the Seance Sisters on it.
Merch coming soon.
I know.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Well, guys, I think that about wraps us up for our first episode of the Seance Sisters, and we will definitely be back. If not this coming week, possibly the next week for sure. Because I don't think we'll go more than 2 weeks without a show. Just kind of depends on what our filming's, because we also go filming on our days off and stuff too. But we'll probably shoot for at least twice a month that you guys hear from us. And we'll have a topic that we learn from and give you guys knowledge, also with just without just doing, sessions and communication. We want you guys to actually learn some stuff too, because that's what this is all about. So we'll learn a little bit more about the Fox sisters and what a seance really is and how to perform one. And you've just seen one, but we'll step by step you through it and have Sam help us along the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Promote it. We'll let you guys know when the next show is for sure. But thank you all for being here. That was awesome.
It's been such a pleasure having all of you here. So yes, thanks guys so much. Thank you for supporting me and Jenny in our very first episode of the Seance Sisters. So don't forget, we have got so much coming your way, so much that we didn't even realize was going to happen is now going to be happening. So guys, until the next spooky seance, it is way out. We need a different ending. I love you guys. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. We love you. Bye guys.